Today, I'm going to talk about how to be a better traveler. I don't know who needs to hear this, but clearly a lot of people out there do, because every damn time I travel, I run into these same frustrating behaviors from all of you. And yeah, I travel a lot. I'm an editorial and commercial photographer who works all over the world. I photograph luxury resorts for a living, over 100 assignments around the world for the New York Times, so I'm traveling nonstop. I've dealt with all this, and enough's enough. Today, the plane or the travel sheriff, whatever you want to call me, I'm here. And I'm gonna lay down the law. Don't take me too serious. I'm not really like a bitter old dude, but these things need to be said. And if you're not one of these people, fine, watch it and share it. Because I bet one of your friends, someone in your inner circle is doing this. And it needs to stop. I'm Justin Mott, and welcome to my home here in Hanoi, Vietnam. And if you're new here, my channel is dedicated to all things photography and a bit of travel and a bit of venting. If that sounds interesting to you, you can hit the subscribe button. If you want to know more about me and my online photography classes and coaching and blog, you can check out askmott.com. All right, so let's just board right into it. That's terrible. I didn't have anything better, but I hate everyone says dive into it. I'm not diving. I'm not a diver. I'm a swimmer. I'm not diving. Number one on my list is just stop with the confused and cut. You know who you are. You're wandering up. You're like, oh, do I belong in this line that says platinum members or whatever, gold members? Is this the right line? Is this the back of the line? Is this little gap meant for me to slot in? No. Read the signs. Use common sense. If you're unsure about which line to be in or where the line starts and ends, take 2 seconds and figure it out by just using logic. Or if you can't use your own logic, which you're probably not good at because you're doing this stuff, is ask somebody. Ask someone in the line, hey, where does the line end? Or better yet, ask someone that works there. That's what they're there for, helping you. Ask if this is the right line to be in for whatever status you are, whatever flight you're boarding, or where the line starts and ends. And you're not fooling anyone with you're on your phone, you just kind of wander and just sort of slot in. Cutting the line, whether that's security or the check-in line or the boarding line, it's just about the rudest, most ignorant, most entitled thing you can do in society. And if someone cuts you directly, it's on you to call them out. I don't care if they look mean or intimidating. If they step in that gap that you left open, then you need to speak up. It's on you first. Nobody likes confrontation, and it's not going to happen all the time. But you know what else nobody likes is line cutters. So it's on you to say something. Now, there are exceptions to some of these rules. One of the exceptions would be the person at security who has nothing ready. They didn't take out their laptop. They still have their belt on. They look confused about the whole process despite watching 20 other people in front of them do it. In this case, if you can slot in front of them smoothly without slowing them down, go for it. It's a judgment call. It's only for experienced line sheriffs like myself. Number two, and this is just not just at airports and planes, but just society in general, volume off. If you're not in your private home, your phone, iPad, laptop, whatever, Bluetooth speakers, we're not all watching your show or listening to your music communally. Get headphones. If you want to listen to your content in public, listen to it privately. We didn't all sign up for that. Number three, this is a personal pet peeve of mine because it happens a ton in Southeast Asia, especially here in Vietnam. Your foot should never be naked. Bare feet on a plane are just disgusting. At the very least, wear socks. And if your bare foot touches another human being, you should be banned from flying forever. Flights in Vietnam, this happens all the time. It's happening less, still happens a lot. And I always have to be the one who addresses it. People sticking their bare feet between the seats in front of me or wedging them against the armrest and touching my elbow. I just hate it. It causes me so much anxiety. I have to address it. I get mad. Number four on my list is just overall be ready. Security lines, be prepared. Have your passport and boarding pass ready before you're at the front. Shoes off, laptop out, belt off. You know the drill. Some airports are changing, but you can watch, you can see what they require. You have time to look and observe, so do that instead of listening to your phone on full blast. Same goes for boarding. Get into your seat quickly. It should take about 5 to 10 seconds max to get from the aisle into your seat. And I don't know why people are so confused. It's always numbers going in one order, so you just look like, oh, 16, I'm row 30, so don't keep looking. You know farther down is going to be your seats. Just pay attention. That's kind of it. Pay attention to your surrounding and then have your stuff ready that you need in your plate. You shouldn't be lollygagging out in the aisle and holding up people. And conversely, give the person in front of you that 5 to 10 second grace period. Again, it should be more like less than 5, but don't push past them. Just give them their time. If they start to take more than 10 seconds, then yeah, tap them on the shoulder, ask them to get out of the way. You know, a lot of flight attendants do a good job at getting people out of the aisle and rushing them, but you shouldn't just ever be hanging out in the aisle when people are boarding the plane. Just have it figured out, look at the seat, look at your ticket, have your stuff ready, get into your seat. Next on my list is deplaning, and this one is just sort of common courtesy like a lot of these, is don't be a jerk. When the plane lands, the rule is simple. Let the people in the row in front of you get out first. Of course, if they're not ready, then fine. One time on a plane, I saw a guy refuse to let out a pregnant woman carrying her kid out. She was ready and in the row in front of him, and he didn't let her out of the aisle. He just pushed right past her. And I was having a day. I actually tracked that guy down when we were getting off the plane. I tapped him on the shoulder. And I don't like this kind of stuff. I really don't, but I just felt like somebody had to say something. I tapped him on the shoulder and I was like, hey, that was rude. Like, let people out. That's so rude. She's pregnant and with a kid. She thanked me and he was like, oh, sorry. BS. Be aware, be courteous. Next on my list is to stay in your space, big, small, doesn't matter. I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'1", about 225. Sometimes more like 235, but I fit in my allotted space just fine. You don't need to spread your legs into other people's seats. Respect those boundaries. Middle seat gets both armrests. People on the edges lean away from the person in the middle seat. It's just common courtesy. Next on my list is elevators. Let people out first. Whoa, what a surprise. Wow, amazing, huh? Yeah, not just at airports. Happens in my building all the time. You think this is common sense, but no, people are zombies on their phones. They're just sort of getting into the elevator before people get out. Let people exit first, make sure everyone's out, give them space to get out, and then you get in once everybody is out. Simple. Next on my list, you're gonna think, oh man, this guy, he doesn't have kids, so he doesn't know. I don't have kids, but look after your kids. They're your kids, so you need to manage them. If they're misbehaving, handle it. The person in front of you doesn't want this situation. It's not like they woke up this morning and be like, I cannot wait to get on this plane and yell at some parents for not taking care of their kids. Most people hate confrontation and will just sit there stewing instead of saying something. So get ahead of the situation. Now, that being said, also, as an adult, be patient with kids. They are kids. Crying babies, cry. That's what they do. That's life. If you can't handle it, invest in some top-tier noise-canceling headphones. The parents aren't enjoying it either, so you have to have some empathy. They're definitely more stressed than you are. But misbehaving kids, that's on you, parents. Next one, this is a shocker. This one's gonna blow your mind. Be courteous. Be nice to the staff every step of the way. They might be having a bad day. They've dealt with people that aren't fun. They've dealt with all these people I'm talking about. And so just be kind to them. And then just in general, be kind and courteous. Like, open doors for people. Help people with heavy bags if you can. Putting them in your overhead. Be patient with people in general. Take a deep breath. I'm saying that and I get anxiety from these things, but I try to be really patient. I try to take a deep breath. I try to have empathy for other people, and I try to be kind to people. And just look, if you're having a good day, not everyone at the airport's having a good day, but help people out. If you see people in need, help them out. All right, enough about the courteous part. No, I believe in being courteous. Next on my list, this is a big one, a huge pet peeve of mine. Get out of the way. Airports are not amusement parks. Some people are rushing to catch flights. They have places to go. Can you believe it? And standing in the middle of a walkway like it's a scenic overlook isn't helping. Don't block doorways. Move aside if you need to check your phone or reorganize your bag or figure out what you're doing. Like, when you can't figure out what you're doing, don't make it everyone else's problem. Get out of the way. And on that note, on moving walkways, the people movers, stand on the right, walk left. It's not a ride. People have places to go. And just in general, like throughways, walkways, doorways, don't stand in those areas. Next on my list is to respect the seat in front of you. Yeah, and that's coming from a taller guy, but the rule is the rule. If the person in front of you reclines their seat, deal with it. It's their space to use. So if they do it, then you do it if you need a little bit more room. That being said, be mindful of your interactions with the seat in front of you. No knee knocking. If you're tall, just adjust your posture. Don't constantly jam your knees into the seat in front of you. Don't do that passive aggressive thing. No punching the screen in front of you. I don't understand why people are always doing this. What's happening back there? You just tap it gently. I know the touchscreen's not fantastic, but they also make a controller that you can use. So stop bashing the thing in front of you. Talking about the seat in front of you, no grabbing and pulling the seat to stand up. Just use your own armrest, not someone else's seat back. I'm traveling this week to France. I had to get this out. I hope everyone watches this and just gets out of my way and follows these rules. It'd be a better society. It'd be a better travel experience for all of us. My final thought is, just in general, public spaces are public, not private. And this is a trend that I don't like in society. You're not alone in this world. Be aware, be courteous, be informed. And now, take all this in and go be a better traveler. Let me know your little pet peeves in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them. Let's have a dialogue, but let's also be polite and courteous at the same time. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're interested in travel hacks, I did a recent episode about all my travel hacks that come from a photographer who's traveled the world for the last 20 years. A lot of fun little hacks in there. You can check out that episode here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to have a wonderful trip.